You are never truly alone. alone. You are with God, and in that union, life.
And you know what's crazy? When you
Copper Mountain. It's a great view in Copper Mountain. Copper Mountain. Embrace it.
Oh no, we're here to help people customize and save living.
Being alone, you are never truly alone. You are with God, and in that union lies the fullness of life. To be alone is not to be cast aside, nor is it to dwell in the shadows of emptiness. To be alone is to return to the sacred meeting place, the holy sanctuary within, where your spirit communes with the infinite. The world often confuses solitude with loneliness, but they are not the same. Loneliness comes from believing you are cut off from others, left without comfort or companionship. Aloneness, however, is the recognition that you are never without God, that the source of all being dwells within you and meets you in the silence of your own soul. When you are alone, the distractions of the world begin to fade. The voices of others, with their opinions, judgments, and expectations, grow quiet, and in their place arises the still, small voice that has been waiting to speak with you. That voice does not come with noise or drama. It comes with assurance, with peace, with a depth of knowing that transcends words. It is the infinite calling you back to your true self, to the eternal truth that you and God are not separate but one. Aloneness is union. It is the place where all masks fall away, where you no longer perform for the approval of others or hide behind the roles you play in society. In the sacred quiet, you stand as you truly are, a child of the infinite, a vessel of divine power, a spark of the eternal flame. In that recognition, fear dissolves, for you realize you are never abandoned, never forgotten. What the world calls solitude, heaven calls communion. The moments when God draws you away from the crowd are not punishments but blessings. They are invitations. Invitations to drink deeply from the well within, to see beyond the fleeting shadows of the outer world, and to touch the eternal light that has always been yours. When you sit in silence, when you rest in stillness, you begin to feel that presence more vividly than ever before. The beating of your heart becomes His rhythm. The breath within your lungs becomes His breath. The thoughts that rise in your mind, purified by peace, become His whisper. Many resist being alone because they fear emptiness. But the truth is, when you enter aloneness with open hands and a willing heart, you discover not emptiness, but fullness. Fullness of spirit, fullness of love, fullness of being. You discover that God has been waiting there all along, ready to remind you that the life you seek, the peace you crave, the power you desire are already within you. To embrace aloneness is to embrace God. It is to recognize that what you thought was silence is actually a symphony. What you thought was emptiness is actually abundance. And what you thought was separation is in fact union. Alone with God, you lack nothing. Alone with God, you are complete. Alone with God, you are whole. Silence is not empty. It is filled with the language of God. In a world that is constantly shouting, demanding, and pulling at your attention, it becomes almost impossible to hear the subtle whisper that guides you to your true destiny. The outer world is noisy with opinions, fears, and distractions, and when you live only in that noise, your spirit grows weary and confused. Yet when you enter silence, when you willingly step away from the clamoring voices of the crowd, you discover that there has always been another voice speaking. A voice that is gentle, steady, and unshakable. It is the voice of God within you. The whisper of God is never loud. It does not compete with the chaos of the world. Instead, it waits patiently, like the soft wind that only those who are still can feel. When you allow yourself to be quiet, when you surrender the constant need to speak, to react, to prove, you begin to hear it clearly. It is not in the thunder, nor in the fire, nor in the earthquake of life's dramas. It is in the still, small voice. That voice is not separate from you. It arises from the very depths of your being, reminding you of who you are and what path you are meant to walk. In silence, your mind begins to settle. The constant noise of worry, fear, and doubt loses its power. You no longer feel the need to chase the validation of others or drown in the endless stream of distractions. In that stillness, you hear a guidance that is steady and true. Sometimes it comes as a sudden clarity, an inner knowing that cannot be explained but feels undeniable. Sometimes it comes as peace, a quiet assurance that even if you don't know how, everything is unfolding perfectly. Other times it comes as conviction, a stirring within you that gives you the courage to act in alignment with your highest self. Silence is the womb of revelation. Every great insight, every divine idea, every sacred vision is born in the quiet moments when the world is tuned out and the eternal is tuned in. The reason so many miss their destiny is not because God is silent, but because they are too busy to listen. The whisper is constant, but only those who enter solitude, who honor the sacredness of silence, can truly receive it. Do not fear silence, for it is not the absence of life, but the presence of God. In silence you discover that you are not wandering without direction, you are being led. You are not lost, you are being guided. When you dare to be still, you find that the answers you seek are not in the voices of others, but in the voice within. And that voice, soft though it may be, carries more power than all the
Right, good
noise
night,
of the
guys.
world combined. When you are surrounded by the world, you are constantly being shaped by its voices, its opinions, and its endless demands. The outer world tells you what is possible and what is impossible,